I'm thinking of cutting off my best friend because she can't stop bringing up my ex-girlfriend to my fiance. We've been best friends for 11 years. Met in high school, went to the same college 3 states away. She was there for everything. When I was broken eating ramen for weeks. When I failed my first midterm. When my dad got sick. But especially when my ex dumped me after 7 years together. My ex left because I was boring. I was working on my PhD while holding down a full-time job. She wanted to party on weekends. I was home studying until 2 a.m. I don't blame her. My best friend sat with me for hours that night, telling me my ex would come back when I was ready. I believed her. Stayed friends with my ex for 2 years, waiting. Then I met my fiance. She joined my team at a tech company right after I finished my PhD. We started getting drinks after work, then dinners. We just clicked. For the first time in years, I felt like myself again. I stopped talking to my ex the week my fiance and I made it official. Proposed to her a year later at the same hiking trail I'd planned for my ex. That's where things started getting weird. At our engagement dinner, my best friend pulled my fiance aside. First thing she said was, he planned this exact proposal for his ex too. Same spot and everything. My fiance smiled and said it was sweet. I'd been thinking about it for years. I didn't think it was sweet. I thought it was strange. Since then, every single time we see her, she drops my ex's name. We bought a house last month. My best friend walked through and said, your ex always wanted a kitchen island like this. We booked our honeymoon to Greece. She texted me, that's where you and your ex wanted to go for your 10-year anniversary. At my sister's birthday party, she cornered my fiance and showed her old college photos. My ex was in every single one. Last week, my fiance came home from work and said we needed to talk. She told me the comments were bothering her. She felt like she was competing with a ghost. I called my best friend that night and gave her an ultimatum. Stop mentioning my ex or we're done. She got defensive, said my ex was part of my life for 7 years and she can't erase her from every story. Said I was being emotionally childish for pretending my ex didn't exist, but she finally agreed. Said she wouldn't bring my ex up in front of my fiance anymore. 2 days later, my fiance left for China for a month to plan our wedding in her hometown. That Friday, my best friend invited me over for dinner. Said her husband missed hanging out with me. I showed up at 7:30. We were drinking in the living room when the doorbell rang. My best friend jumped up looking excited. She opened the door and my ex walked in, dressed up like she was going on a date. Heels, red dress, full makeup. I hadn't seen her in person in 3 years. My ex sat down next to me and started making small talk, asking about my job, my new house, if I was happy. I went into the kitchen and confronted my best friend. Asked her what the hell was going on. She said it's been 5 years since the breakup and I needed to get over it. Said my ex was excited to see me and we're all adults. We had a fight. I told her she crossed a line. I went back to the living room, made up a work emergency, and left. My ex looked hurt. I didn't care. I called my fiance from my car. I've never heard her that angry. She said my best friend clearly has an agenda and something's not right. I agreed. I ghosted my best friend for 2 weeks, ignored every call and text. Then my mom called Sunday morning, asked me to come over for lunch. When I got there, my best friend was sitting at the kitchen table. I turned to leave, but my mom grabbed my arm, said they all needed to talk to me. I sat down. My mom started talking about how my best friend has been there for me all these years, how she only wants what's best for me. Then my best friend leaned forward and said I was making a huge mistake. Said my ex was ready to settle down now, said we could pick up where we left off. Reminded me how broken I was when my ex left and how life was giving me a second chance. My sister nodded and said they all liked my ex more than my fiance anyway. Said we looked better together in photos. Then my mom said something that made my blood go cold. She said my fiance's culture was so different from ours, that they didn't understand what she says sometimes, that they had nothing in common with her. I asked what she meant. My mom hesitated, then said it. Our kids with my fiance would look Asian, small eyes, not like anyone else in the family. She asked if I really wanted that. Then she told me she'd already asked my best friend to talk to my ex, to see if she'd take me back. I lost it. Said things I can't take back. Walked out and haven't spoken to any of them since. That was 3 days ago. My fiance comes home in 2 days and I have no idea how to tell her my entire family is racist.